Hey friends, I'm Arvind Games, and this is a Dragon Knight, a game about a dragon who wants to become a knight. This little guy will have to save the princess at the top of a castle by fighting undead knights and lighting up a certain number of torches on each floor to move to the next level. It will be a platformer inspired by the Spyro games with some hack and slash elements for the combat, like combos and ranks to make it more replayable, as the game isn't going to be that long. As you can see, the model is done, though it will need a few adjustments, retopology and animations, so until then enjoy him asserting his dominance. But I'm happy to say, the platforming is almost done. I'm at a test area and prototype part of the first level to test how it all worked together. The most important mechanic was the gliding, which would allow to cover greater distances like in Spyro. I stumbled upon this awesome tutorial and I adapted it to work while holding the jump button. Letting it go will turn him into the chunky boy he is and fall normally. I had to tweak the values of the jump height and fall speed because the jumps felt too floaty, and it took away from the floatiness of the gliding, if that makes sense. So now the glide stands out more and it just looks and feels better. Now, I spent a while thinking whether to add a flight to the game. It certainly would take away from the platforming. Spyro Dawn of the Dragon kind of figured out a way by making it so that if you jumped 3 times you would enter the glide mode. Pressing the jump button would make Spyro and Cinder bat their wings and stay in the air with a limited altitude. But still, unless you were carrying one of these bastards, jumping and gliding wasn't necessary. So for now, flying is discarded. I think the game doesn't need it. Instead, we have these bad boys. The idea was for them to push the dragon upward when gliding in the side of it, like in so many other games, but unfortunately I found no tutorials for it. So I improvised using another mechanic I added, the dash, which will work for both platforming and combat. It can be used in any direction of the ground or in the air. This is how the air drafts look. I also use dash logic to push the character backwards whenever an obstacle hits him. So far there are spikes, moving axes, and these platforms that crumble after jumping on them. The air drafts took me a while to figure out. In the meantime, I made progress by importing code from my previous game, called Slaughter, which you can try out now on YouTube. I reused the menus and settings. Of course, these are 2 different games, so I changed some buttons and still need to add some extra menus, but the base is there. There's also the damage system. There are now working health bars for the Dragon Knight and the enemies. So far there's no combat, so I'll develop this more on my next devlog. I also imported the cell shade and outline materials as placeholders. The style may change later on, but I'll leave that for last cause it's my favorite part. I'm an artist, not a programmer, hence all the tutorials I have to use. That's about everything I've done so far. For the next devlog, I'll make progress with the combat. I need to finish the Dragon Knight first, as the animations are going to be key for programming and testing the attacks. So it might be a while before you see another devlog. But I'll make sure to post updates here on YouTube and Instagram. Huge thanks to the amazing creators that made the tutorials I used. And thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave any feedback or ideas in the comments. We'll catch up next time.